But I want you guys in the comments to spam happy 25th birthday to Perdita, because we know she doesn't look a day over 25. Happy birthday once again. Enjoy your donuts. Eat them donuts, and I'll join you for a donut when I'm in my off season. Same one for me.
It is so good to see you again. Get in here, grab a seat. Episode 15 of Trackside starts now. I can't do this show without Trackside's resident speed machine, Aaron Brown, Olympic champion. Hello again. Our second last show before Worlds. Also, Worlds is 2 weeks away. How we feeling, sir?
We're feeling good. We're getting closer and closer to that big day, that championship that we've all been looking for all season. But before we get there, it's a big day today. Let's not forget it. Let's not gloss over it. What day is it today, Perdita? Let the audience know.
It's my birthday, okay?
Hey, and we got a surprise, little trackside surprise. Let's do it up. Let's do it up.
Let's do it up. Mike, who does our editing, he's awesome. This is it. You want some?
Yeah.
I wish
I low-key do. I wish I could eat it through the screen. I'm not going to lie to you. But I shouldn't have it yet. You know.
No. Thank you, Mike.
September 22nd when I'm done running, then I'll eat all the donuts that I can eat. Yeah.
But let me say this. So thank you for everybody who's watching on my actual birthday, which is Friday, August 29th. And if you're watching the replay, we love you. Thank you. Thank you for coming back. But 2006, I have to shout out American hurdler Virginia Crawford. We were in Trojan. Yeah, that's right, USC. We were in Zagreb, Croatia at the time. And sometimes you go to meets and the food is so-so, but people bring their snacks. So she had all her snacks, and she gifted me at dinner a microwave popcorn bag. When I tell you, I felt so nice. I was eating good that birthday, 26. Shout out to Ginny Crawford in Zagreb, Croatia. Okay.
Hey, man, that's how you survive the circuit. You got to bring those snacks. You never know what you're going to get over there. So
I am telling
those snacks sometimes are your saving grace.
And your barter system, 100%.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, we got to talk big things right now. Zurich, Diamond League final. This is our big episode to really talk about that. You know where we have to start, AB. Like, it's kind of obvious. Men's 200 meters. Should we go there?
Let's go there. Let's do it.
In the last event of the meet, we had a second Olympic rematch with Noah Lyles going head-to-head with Letsile Tebogo. And if you remember, Noah basically had his number in Monaco. And this rematch did not disappoint, as these two, they were side by side down to the wire. And honestly, watching this race, I thought Noah would blow the house off Tebogo. But you gotta give Tebogo some credit. He held on for dear life, but unfortunately, he was beat out by Noah Lyles on a well-timed dip at the line. I mean, Noah's just a bully. Respectfully, just a bully. I mean, AB, this man is ready. He is on his vengeance tour. Who can beat Noah Lyles? You don't even have to answer that question, but it was crazy.
We're gonna find out in Tokyo, clearly, but he has a pretty stellar track record. No pun intended, on the circuit when he's running in the 200 meters. That's his signature event, and it takes a lot to beat him. And the only times we've really seen him lose, it's been at the Olympics. And, other than that, it's been pretty hard to beat Noah Lyles. So I wasn't surprised that he won this one. He usually gets up for these Diamond League titles. I think this might be his fifth or sixth. I know he won a 100-meter title back in the day as well, so I think he might be at 6 now. And I got to give a shout out to Tebogo as well, because, he did run a good race, and it was surprising to see him have that big of a lead off the turn, because he's kind of a closer as well, and not usually running the turn that hard. Yes. So to see that, I thought, okay, for a second, I thought he might take it, but then Noah's just so good at closing in that last 50. You really have to put him away if you want to beat this guy. So, it's going to be fun in Tokyo, and I'm excited to see it.
I think if you're Letsile, you have to feel a little bit frustrated and slightly annoyed because Noah did his thing, tongue out, carrying on. But I also think if you are Tebogo, you have to also, on some level, feel good because you were that close to him. I think a lot of people, if you're, quarterbacking this, you're like, oh yeah, he's going to get blown away. And he really didn't. So if you take that strategy, if you take that kind of confidence, it was just by a lean, then you go and you tinker a little bit with that in Tokyo. But I will say this, and I'll be careful talking about Noah because our Jamaican fans in the audience think we're just a little too on him. But I will just say this about Noah's race is if you are Noah Lyles and he doesn't actually care the margin of victory. The point is, I got you. I won. I got your number. Yeah. You have to feel nice and you have to think about, oh my goodness, I still won despite whatever. So to me, those two are the ones to beat. But to your point, there's Kenny, there's still Courtney Lindsay who have not really had their say. But I got to believe those two and the others are watching this race from wherever they are at base camp, training camp before Worlds, and they're looking at how that race developed, how it went down.
Yeah, and I don't think that they saw that race and they think, oh my God, we have no chance in Tokyo. I think that actually gave them confidence, and it probably gave Noah confidence too. Like, okay, I can run anybody down, and so you know, two opposable forces are going to meet and collide, and we're going to see who actually is the man to beat in Tokyo. And of course, I'll be in that 200 as well, so I'm going
Oh
to be mixing
yeah,
up and doing
that's right.
my thing in there as well. So I'm
100%.
excited. I love when the 200 meters hot fire, as I like to say, and we got a lot of narratives to look for in that event, so it's going to be exciting.
It really is.
Moving right along to the women's 100 meters, we were waiting to see Julien Alfred back in the Diamond League, and boy, did she not disappoint. After a disqualification by Mary Jose Talu Smith, the reigning Olympic champion came out of the blocks and was neck and neck with Jamaica's Tia Clayton, but she absolutely separated from her and the field in the final 20 meters, crossing the line in a time of 10:76, giving her back-to-back Diamond League finals wins. Perdita, how'd you feel about your girl Juju? I know, like I said, Melissa Jefferson Wooden, Kayla White, Sha'Carri Richardson, they're all, measuring their sticks and seeing what the defending Olympic champion is going to do in 10:76. How do you feel about that? You still feel confident about your girl?
Listen, I feel nice. Well, let me break down some things. And my husband hates when I do this, but I'm like, sir, I've been in the game a long time. I get to do this. I look at what this is like psychology. I look at what I'm seeing. I look at their face. I look at the body language. Listen, she had a scowl on her face where she's like, I'm here. And I love when she has that persona. She's just so dialed in. She doesn't look afraid. She's not pressed. And then, what does Juju do? She goes for her lip gloss. Now, it was a slow-mo. The camera zoomed in. I said, she is not pressed about y'all. The rest of y'all are in trouble because the woman before the gun went up, she took out her lip gloss. Okay, where am I going with this? My point is, she's not bothered, okay? She got to make sure everything is good and tight. She's not pressed. And when I saw that, I said, it's over for y'all. It is over. So I will say this, though. Okay, lip gloss aside. My lip gloss is popping. If you know the song, you know. This aside.
Hello, mama.
The mama, that's right. AB, this is why we do this. This is why I rock with you. But 10.76, let me see this. It was good to see her back. There was rumor and word that she had a slight hamstring niggle. It's clear that that's behind her now. She's put that away. It's great. She's race sharp. She's there. For you to go through MJW, Melissa Jefferson Wooden, you need more than a 10.7. But a 10.7 after that long of a layoff is amazing. But Juju's experience, she knows the rounds. She's with a great coach that understands it and knows. But to see how effortless it is for Melissa to run 10.6, 10.6, like top set 10, sub 10.7 like this, Juju has to come with another gear. She knows this. She's no stranger. But to me, she's ready, and I'm not afraid. I am not afraid.
Okay. Well, I mean, she looked good. I'll give her credit. And, she's a friend of the show, so it's not like I'm against her or anything. It's just I got my teammates in it, so I'm biased. But, Juju looked great, and it was a good comeback for sure. 10.76 is never something to scoff at. That's one of the fastest times ever. And, anytime you run sub 10.80, you're cooking. So I don't want to downplay that. But if you look at the margin of victory between her and Tia Clayton versus what Melissa Jefferson Wooden did in Poland, there is a discrepancy. I mean, Melissa put them away a lot more than Juju did. Juju had to pull away at the end, whereas Melissa was gone from Jump Street, right? So she ran 10.66, where Tia PR'd and ran 10.82, and here she ran 10.84, and Juju got her in the end, running 10.76. So I'm just saying, she might have had a lip gloss out and feeling good, flexing, before the line, relaxed, and I ain't worried about nothing, French Montana stuff, but I feel like come Tokyo, when Melissa Jefferson Wooden steps to the line, she's not going to be playing with her lip gloss. I'm fairly confident about that. And it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be caliente.
It is.
Hot fire. But,
Hot fire.
you already know who I'm pulling for and who I think is going to win.
I need to raise one thing.
Put my bias out there.
We know. I need to raise one thing that we know well. So if you go back to that 100-meter race in Zurich, you saw Talu Jose Smith was... she ran under protest, right? She was kicked out, false start. And you understand how that can rattle. I understand from experience how that can rattle you, that can be crazy. So it's not necessarily about the times. And I know we're not saying that.
I agree.
It really is about the experience. It's about how you manage the rounds, how you manage the nerves. I don't know how you are the night before major championships. Adrenaline is all through my body. And so even your sleep is not a natural deep sleep. Do you know what I mean? Like it's on your mind. So there are so many things that these women all have to contend for. And what I was impressed with is the fact that despite that second gun having to go up, despite being rattled, Julien showed her pedigree. She showed her experience, and that is going to be key. Of course, Melissa has that bronze medals from Paris. I'm not counting it out. But when you look at that field that's going to be in Tokyo, you don't know who else is going to emerge. There's just so many factors at play that we don't care what you did in May. We don't even care what you did in Zurich and in Lausanne and in Monaco. What are you going to do on that date? It's a completely clean slate, and we'll have to see because there's so many things that they have to contend with. So AB, for Zurich, for some people, yes, I want the trophy. For others, it's like race sharpness, throw sharpness, all the things. But for others, this was their one shot at making it to Tokyo. This was their ticket to ride, for some Americans especially. Let's start with the men's 400 meters, okay? It was U.S. fan favorite Vernon Norwood. He was looking to grab that fourth spot for Team USA. He needed either to win or fellow American Jacory Patterson, friend of the show, to win. And boy, did Vernon get an assist from his friend who stormed to a blistering 43.85, which was a new personal best, by the way, and put another 50K in that man's pocket. Go back to one of our earlier episodes, okay? Jacory he's just on one. And good news for the man they call Uncle Vernon Norwood, as he'll now qualify for the World Championships individually for the first time since 2019. I mean, AB, you must be loving Jacory Patterson, blessing his friend, his team. Well, I don't know if he's his friend, but his teammate with that assist right there, right?
Well, if he wasn't his friend before, he's his friend now. He's probably loving that. But I know Jacory walked away with 50 stacks, but I don't know. Uncle Vernon, you might have to bless your man with a little bit more. He gave that fourth and final spot, which is nice to see. Yeah, Uncle Vernon's always been, I'm saying uncle like we're not the same age, but it's the baldy. It's the baldy.
It's the head.
But the main story, of course, is Jacory Patterson,
yes,
who ran that 43.85. He's got a shot to win it all. I'm gonna put that out there, and it's crazy to see like his rise. You know, coming from UPS with the UPS mentality, getting a shot at the Grand Slam track, running 43.9 there, coming out winning a U.S. title, winning some Diamond League races, and now winning the Diamond League final. I mean, he's on a heater right now, and sometimes when you have that momentum,
yes,
that can carry you all the way to higher heights than you even expected. So I'm looking forward to see what Jacory can do in Tokyo. Obviously, Quincy Hall's not going to be there, but we still got Matthew Hudson-Smith, who ran 43.4 last year, and he's going to have something to say about it. But, you know, Jacory, it's looking good for you, bro.
This is what I think about when I think about the men's 400 meters in Tokyo. It's going to come down to whoever can close. Whoever can close, whoever has that finishing kick. If you don't take that bite out of that person at 250, 300, it's over. And who has a wicked kick? Jacory Patterson does. I mean, if we have a rap party afterwards, we just got to have this man back. We just have to talk to him.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I believe he medaled indoors too, so shout out to him. He's on a heater. Moving right along, we've got to talk about the men's 1500 meters, of course. As world ranked number 2, Yared Nuguse was in a do or die scenario. Win the Diamond League final, and you're going to the World Championships. He came out hard and challenged until the final bell lap, before the field separated, and the American unfortunately fell to the back of the group in the final stretch as Niels Larosse crossed the line in first place, winning his first Diamond League title. The story of the race was the heartbreak for Nuguse, who was on the Olympic podium just last season, and now won't even be going on the team to the World Championships. I know it was an outside shot for Nuguse, and he's been not quite as hot as he was last year, but do you feel like he left too much for him to accomplish going into this Diamond League final, trying to win it all based on the season that he's had leading into it? Like, was that too tall of a task for him?
Yeah. To me, look at the difference a year can make. You go from Olympic bronze medal in Paris, and a year later, you're not even making your team. This is why I hate the sport. Not hate it, but like,
whoa.
The point I'm making is it is so fickle, right? Like, it is so fickle. Like, no one has a crystal ball to predict what it is. This is a sport, and I'm going on a rant now, but the point I'm trying to make is this is a sport that will boost you up, and it will also be the thing that breaks your heart, right? So if you would have said to Yared Nuguse, after Paris, this is going to be your season, he'd be like, oh, heck no, right? And I do wonder what has happened. What has gone wrong? There has to be some forensics that him and his team do for this season. Was there an undisclosed injury that we didn't know about? Was training different? Was there something off the field? Because for him not to carry this momentum into this year, something had to give. And for me, I watched that race in Zurich, and it was almost like he was stuck in the mud. Like he did not have his typical gear that he has. But if you were someone who left it that late at your Olympic trials and weren't able to really get it done there, how did we expect we're going to snap our fingers and a few weeks later in Zurich with pressure and expectations that you're actually going to get the job done? I just think it was a really tall order based on what his fitness and sharpness has been showing us all season.
I don't know. You hate that about track, but I kind of like it. Maybe
do?
you hate it as an athlete. It's tough because, you're here today and gone tomorrow, kind of like what Drake's dad says on Pound Cake. But, I think it's good. It's compelling for the fans because you never know what you're going to see. And sometimes, like, in a sport like the NFL, one team might make the playoffs in 1 year, have a deep run, and then the next year they don't even make it because that's just the name of the game. And when you have that parity where the fields are very competitive and deep, that's the byproduct of that. So I think it's a good thing, and it speaks to the health of the event.
This is true, but they get to do it every single year. We don't. And I think I understand now why retired athletes are sometimes disillusioned and salty and curmudgeonly. I've turned into that retired athlete, and I love it here. But you are right. Okay, maybe I don't hate the sport. It's too harsh. Okay, moving on to the women's 200 meters. Now that was a doozy. In one of the last events of the night, we had our eyes on two Americans, Brittany Brown, the 2020 Olympic bronze medalist, and of course her teammate, Mackenzie Long, who were both chasing the last wildcard spot for Tokyo. And it was Brown who was neck and neck with Dina Asher-Smith in the last 50 meters and held on for dear life. She wanted that spot. She really wanted that spot. She snatched it, finishing first in a season's best 22:13. AB, could you imagine the nerves and the stone cold audacity to come out in your last chance meet and you grab that spot?
I can, and I wasn't surprised. Brittany Brown is a gamer. I'm not going to count her out ever again after what she did last year, where she was the Olympic silver medalist. She won the Diamond League title last year, and she went into Athlos and won that as well. So she was sweeping last year. She came out strong, beat the Olympic champion at the face of her own meet in Athlos. And so this year I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the field. You got Dina Asher-Smith, you got Mackenzie Long, who is also trying to get a spot. You got a Navy Battle, Amy Hunt. I'm like, nah. I like Brittany Brown's chances because she's shown that she could pull it out when the moments are brightest, the lights are brightest, and she wanted her spot to Tokyo. And at the end of the race, she said "Konnichiwa." She's coming to Japan. She came with the one track mind and pulled it off. So shout out to her. She got it done.
I don't know that I think like the typical fan when I'm watching these races, but all I could think about is if I like as the watcher. So you have Dina Asher-Smith who's confirmed going. You also have Brittany Brown who needs to win for the spot. Dina's giving her work for her money. I'm like, Dina, allow her. You're going, but I know it doesn't work.
No,
like I know
Dina knows her pedigree. She's like, no, I don't want you to go. Get back.
That's right.
Brittany's like, nah, I'm going no matter what. This is my time. So I'm gonna have to run it back in Tokyo now.
100%. But I will say this, and I understand, Brittany didn't celebrate hard enough for me, but I think it was just relief. But I'm like, girl, you're going now. Yeah. But she's probably like, oh, thank God. It's over.
That's just relief. Because she knows the main event is the World Championships. And all these athletes who are winning Diamond League titles, they know it's nice. It's a nice consolation, a nice little payday. But the ultimate prize at every season is always the World Championships or the Olympics. And until, something changes in the future where another event could, offer bigger prize money and actually come through and pay it. I think that will remain where the biggest payday and the biggest thing that could change your career for the season is going to be the World Championships or the Olympics.
I like that. I see what you said. I'm not saying anything.
I was all over the women's 100 hurdles, your event, as my training partner, Tania Marshall, needed a win to grab that wild card spot and book her flight to Tokyo as the fourth American hurdler, along with fellow American and 2021 Olympic silver medalist, Kenny Harrison, who was also looking to qualify for the World Championships. She needed either an outright win or a win from Grace Stark, but any dreams of a qualification were quickly snuffed out by the 23-year-old Jamaican Ackera Nugent, who ran a season's best time of 12:30 seconds, meaning that both American athletes, Marshall and Harrison, won't grab that wildcard spot. Perdita, I hate it for Tania. I really feel like after that 12:24, she had some good momentum. It was lining up for her to get it done. Unfortunately, that's not how it went. But what do you make of this race? It's your signature event. What did you think of it?
And I was really gutted for her. And also Kenny Harrison, who former world record holder, has really been on the scene for a really long time. But I know hate is a strong word. I'm going to throw that away. I didn't mean it. I was being tongue-in-cheek. But this is the thing that does frustrate me about the sport, right? The landscape does change, and it's just not their time right now, or dare I say anymore. Not Tania more so, but Kenny. And this is just what the sport does. It chews you up and it spits you out. So what is the lesson here, children? Get everything you can from this sport. Suck it dry, bleed it dry. Take everything you can while you can, because you don't know when the lights are going to go out. And I just think to see a 12-2 in Tania not make the team, to see a former world record holder in Kenny Harrison not make the team, it's crazy. But it's, Nugent's time right now. It's Masai Russell's time right now. And the landscape has just changed, and that is really what happens with the sport. Maybe we'll see them back again. Maybe they'll grow from this and do more. But yeah, I don't like this event. I don't like it.
Like Megan Tapper said, 12-7 ain't cutting it anymore, and you just got to keep raising your game. The 100-meter hurdles, it's an Olympic final every time you line up. It's always stacked, so it is what it is.
Facts. Okay, those weren't the only matchups. We have some others. Let's take a look at those. Interestingly enough, the women's 400 meters with Marlady Paulino and Sawaid Naser locking horns once again. And this time it was Naser, Naser, who got the best of Paulino for the first time since when? July 2023, 2 years ago. She stomped to a Diamond League record, 48-7, making a huge statement in the final weeks ahead of the World Championships. Listen, I feel like it'll be Paulino, Naser, and Sydney on the podium, AB. They just got to figure out what order, what color of cookie they want. That's what it's coming down to in my mind.
I agree. And the only person we were missing in that race was Sydney. It would have been nice to see her at the Diamond League final, but we know she's cooking up with Bobby, getting ready for a big Tokyo matchup, and she wants to take down an American record, and she's going to need to, because both these ladies have run 48-1 in their heyday, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. Naser got out like she always does, and this time she's finishing stronger. She didn't let Marlady Paulino walk her down like she usually does. So I'm excited. This is one of the races that I have circled that I definitely have to pay attention to, even though I'm going to be locked into my own races. I want to definitely see this race.
Same.
I got my CBC Trackside hat on, and I still I'm a spectator at the championships. But this is one that I've been salivating over for a long time. Yeah, she's not a lock, and a lot of people have written it off like, oh, this is Sydney's coronation in the 400-meter hurdle. She can do no wrong. And I mean, she's one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen in this sport, maybe in any sport. But this is a different event. Let's pay respect to those who have been doing their thing in this event before we just give it to her. She's got to go and take it.
Facts. I agree.
Anyways, speaking of going to take it, in the men's 110-meter hurdles, there was a quartet of Americans who had a shot at winning this one, but it was Cordell Tinch, who came out hard from the blocks and never looked back. He raced to a new meet record of 12:92, which caps off an incredible season in the Diamond League, as he's placed in the top 2 positions in 7 meets, winning 5 of those. I mean, he's been the most consistent hurdler in the world so far. It looked like it was going to be Trey Cunningham early, and now it's Cordell Tinch's season. He's been winning everything. But we know Grant Holloway, this has been his event.
Yes.
Are we going to see a dethroning in this event? Talk about it.
Whoo! Okay, I'm really excited about this event in particular because Grant has been winning everything, right? He was at 7 world titles, like indoor and out. Like, this man is unstoppable. But I think there might be a changing of the guard, and it starts with Cordell. I'm gonna be picky because I like to be a little, I'm straight shooter. I don't like his technique. Respectfully, no, I don't like his technique.
Okay.
But let me say this: if Cordell Tinch, okay. Someone send this video to his coach, okay? And I mean this all in jest, people, okay? Don't take me too seriously. But if Cordell Tinch cleans up his technique, world record. Trackside first, exclusive.
That's
I said it here. Clip this, put it outside, clip it where you want. World record. If you just
tell us more. Dive deeper. What specifically? Because we got a world champion in the hurdles, so she knows a thing or two about the technique. So it's not just Joe Schmo saying, "Hey, you got to run faster." Like, she knows what she's talking about. But
I do know what I'm talking about.
Dive a little bit deeper. What does he need to
clean up? Let me dive deeper. So I won't say the word raggedy because it got me in trouble when I used it last week to talk about Kashane's final 10-30. So I won't say raggedy. I'll use a better word.
Yeah.
He needs to tighten things up. Too much motion up the top. Needs to snap down a little bit more. And if he does that, 1280, sayonara or konnichiwa. No, that's hello. We have to see how to say goodbye in Japanese. We're gonna figure that out. But to me,
I
that's
don't know that
what
one.
we're working with. Yeah, I don't know that either. That's beyond me right now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So what I'm hearing is Cordell Tinch, man to beat. As long as he gets a little bit of P training, that world record, sayonara. And there's a little birdie in my ear that said sayonara
Thank you,
is how you
Aaron.
say
Producer.
goodbye in Japanese. So little Perdita spice, add that to his technique, and 12-7 or better. That's what I'm
Tighten
hearing.
it up. Tighten it up.
Tighten it up. Little finesse.
Exactly. Okay, Aaron Brown, buckle up. I'm buckling up my seatbelt right now because we're about to talk about our boy. We're about to talk the men's 800 meters. Whew. Oh boy. Okay, a lot of people, I'm gonna get angry, but I'm not gonna do that. You have been doubting our boy Marco Arop going into the World Championships. I got one word for you. Aaron does too. I'm speaking for him right now. Stop it. Okay? The Canadian was competing against a stacked field. He's going up against the likes of Emmanuel Wanyoni, and it was the Kenyan. He led it from the front for most of the race, with Arop making a late push in the final 100. Our boy, he ran out of steam. He ran out of track. He really couldn't reel in Emmanuel, who finished first again in 1:42.27. Although I will say, he wasn't really in his usual dominant fashion, his usual dominant self. So Aaron, I know a lot of American analysts are writing off Arop. They're saying he's not a medal threat. But to me, this third place finish for me, I actually was fine with it. I actually think he's okay. He's not in danger. There's lots of time. What say you?
Yeah, I agree. And of course, we got our Maple Leaf hat on. So we're going to be a little bit biased, of course. Marco's our guy over here. But I think
He's
that...
the reigning world champion. It's not bias.
Yeah, I agree. And sometimes even when you have bias, you're right. You know, it's not like you're just talking out of nowhere. This guy's the reigning world champion. So he missed out on gold last year, going back to back by like a few, 1/100th of a second. So this guy is one of the best we've ever seen in this event. And I think finishing third, like you said, it's a good confidence booster. Maybe he's not the man going into Tokyo, not the guy that's slated to win gold, but that doesn't mean he can't win it.
100%.
You know, he's won gold before. He knows how to do it. He knows how to compete at a high level. Performance on demand is something that Marco is very comfortable with. And I like what I'm saying. It's not like he ran slow. He ran 142.
Thank you.
That's right around where he needs to be. He can drop down to the 141s again and be in contention for that gold. So
you know who
I
have beef with? And I don't like to do this because this can be messy. And I don't like to call out other outlets, but I'm going to do it.
Do it.
FlowTrack has a 16-year-old winning a medal. Mind you, this 16-year-old is a freak in the best way, a phenom. But come on. Come on, FlowTrack. Biased? I like this. We're going to put that on a t-shirt. We're not biased. We're just right. So I'm not saying the 16-year-old can't medal, but you have to think we're going to say this again. The experience, the sleep, the travel, you know what I mean? When these big men try and do their, running the rounds and stuff like that. To me, to put the 16-year-old as a medalist, that is biased, and they're not right. Yeah. Well, they might be right, but you know what I mean?
We seen Coop do his thing, but he was in America. He was at Eugene at Hayward Field. Has he ever been? Does he have a passport yet? Has he ever been overseas? Has he dealt with jet lag before?
Thank you.
I mean, these are big boys. So can we at least see it first before we put him over guys like Marco Arop, who literally is one of the best we've ever seen in this event? I mean, let's put some respect on his name. It's just like Cindy. Like, I get it. They're transcendent athletes. We get super excited. Clickbait galore. We want to use their name as much as we can. They bring the eyes. They bring the views. They bring the revenue. That's what we want. We need more of those characters. But at the same time, let's put respect on those who have done it before.
Have some respect.
Whether it's the women in the 400 meters or Marco Arop in the men's 800 meters. Reigning world champion. I'll just gonna put that out there again.
Thank you. Have some respect. Moving on to the men's 100 meters. What are your thoughts on your teammate, your friend? Come on, Christian Coleman winning the Diamond League final. That has to do well in his mind.
Yeah, I love it for him, and it's his first year in the group full time, and you know he's been dealing with some on and off the track stuff, and it's good to see him come out and finish the year strong with another title. This is number 3 for him, so it's going to give him some confidence. Now he's going to run the relay against us, of course. So you know he's on my leg, and I don't want him to do too well, but you know I'm happy for him as a person. It's good to see him turn it around.
50 stacks too, by the way. 50 stacks.
50 stacks. That doesn't hurt. You know that'll definitely help. It's a good consolation prize. He won't unfortunately get the bye into World Championships because Noah Lyles took that, winning the World Champs in 2023. But Another Diamond League trophy, 50 stacks, like you said. It's a good way to end the season. So shout out to Coleman.
You can buy a lot of Gucci and a lot of Fucci with that. Just saying.
Yeah, a lot of that, all that.
We got to talk about this. Some drama went down in Zurich, and dare I say, it involved a Canadian. On Wednesday, shot putter Sarah Mitton, she looked set to take home the Diamond League trophy and also $30,000 in prize money. On her second attempt, she threw what looked like a new season's best of 20.67. Yes, she threw it to Mars. That was the furthest throw of the entire competition. But wait, oh no, someone challenged Sarah's winning throw. Yup, they saw something and they're like, I don't like. And so Sarah was stripped of the Diamond League title. It was ruled that she stepped out of the circle before the shot landed. And she also clipped the front toe board. I mean, this is a lot of detail. I mean, AB, that was $30,000 on the line and a win in the last meet before Worlds. And that would have made her the first Canadian to win back-to-back Diamond League titles. So AB, are you in or are you out on the review process happening 30 minutes after the event? And you gotta figure out that having the best throw after 2 attempts altered her approach for the rest of the competition.
Okay, so first of all, before we even get into this, I'm just glad we have some drama this week and it doesn't involve my group. I'll just put that out there. Even though it's a Canadian, at least it's not about Star Athletics.
You're clear.
Okay, yeah, phew. In or out. Okay, so you always want to get it right. And that's the thing of having technology. So I'm in on being able to challenge it. But if it's going to happen 30 minutes later, I would like to see them implement it to be synonymous with how they do in the NBA. So what happens is if someone's foot is close to the line and they shoot a 3, they keep running the game, but they say, okay, the next stoppage of the time, they're going to go and review it. So you know it's a potential that it's ruled a 3 right now, but we're going to go review it, and so it could be ruled a 2 later. So that way, at least you know it could be potentially changed. That changes your mindset.
Yes, it does.
With this, she was thinking, oh, I'm good. I'm Gucci. I'm in the lead right now. I threw 20.67. I'm good. But, to have it happen after the fact when she had no idea it was coming, I think that's a little unfair.
I agree. And all the headlines were already out. Because I remember seeing, we were even all texting in our group for Trackside, and we were so excited for her and elated for her. And we saw her back to back. She won last year. She wins the trophy again this year. And then it's taken away. And then later on, I see this headline saying she's stripped. I'm like, what? What do you mean she's stripped? And I agree. Yeah. Your mentality of thinking that you are leading, and so all you have to do is play a little bit of defense, is very different than thinking, oh, I am behind. I'm sitting in third, which is ultimately where she finished, and I don't have a shot. If you think about the prize money situation, that win, $30,000. She ended up getting bronze. You know what the prize money was? $7,000. I'm not joking. That can buy a lot of lattes. But $7,000 from $30,000, do the math. $23,000. That's a lot of Timbits, people. That is a lot of Timbits to buy. She doesn't get to do. And I need to say something with Sarah Mitton. Going into Paris, she was one of the best throwers in the world and doesn't end up doing very much in Paris. And that really scarred her. But she got it right. She figured it out. And so she really went into this season. She said, I've been doing the work. I've been figuring it out. So to kind of have this happen right before she goes to Tokyo, I understand doing all the work and then something bad just happens. That is kind of out of your control in that way, right? Erin, it kind of does frustrate me because I think about if you had told her in the moment, like you said with that with that replay, hey, that doesn't count. Does she now throw a monster? Does she now throw a big one out there because her back is against the wall? She never really got that chance and opportunity. But what she's going to do, and we know, you're going to take that into Tokyo. Shake it off, dust it off. And don't even smile. All those girls, we don't know who protested. Okay? Don't even hug them, girl. Don't even high five. This is me being petty. Let me shut up. This is me being petty. Don't shake their hands.
Yeah, and like I said, Sarah is one of the best shot putters in the world. We know 100%. This. You've done it. You went out and threw the shot put, 2067. We all saw it. We know that you should have been the champion.
100%.
But you got your shaky one out the way, and now it just sets you up for a beautiful Tokyo. You're going to kill it in Tokyo. We know you got this. Don't lose confidence. Everything's going your way this season. You're doing great. You won NACAC. This should have been another dub. And it hurts. Your pockets, it hurt. But what's nice is the prize money for gold in Tokyo is even more than $30K. Hey. So it's a nice consolation prize if you go and get that gold. I'm just going to say that.
Let's go.
So, Sarah, we're rooting for you. You got this.
Speaking of Tokyo, in a few days, hundreds of the world's best athletes will arrive in Tokyo for the World Athletics Championship. Among them, Canadians hammer throw queen. You know her name, Cameron Rogers, the reigning Olympic champion, and world champion, out to defend her title. She'll be looking to once again fly the Maple Leaf high. I'm so excited for this, AB. I gotta say, I'll be in the broadcast booth, yes, in the booth, and working as a special analyst as well. And we already know, Aaron, you'll be on the track itself doing your thing. For viewers in Canada, of course, you can watch the stream, all the action exclusively on CBC Gem from September 12th to the 21st. We are so excited for our next guest, all right? She is the Canadian record holder in the 100. Not only that, also in the 200. She's also part of the women's 4x1 relay team. They are looking to make some noise in Tokyo. Audrey Leduc, welcome to Trackside, and thank you for making time for our show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Last season, you burst onto the scene, broke the Canadian record for the first time. Now that you're here, I think it's fair to say like there's clearly a target on your back. How do you deal with that kind of pressure and the expectation? Again, we saw Shadi McCreath again tie your Canadian record. How do you feel about having company on this level?
I think it's a good thing because we've seen the men perform well. And on the women's side, I think it's a good thing that we have more people running under 11 seconds. And to tie the Canadian record, well, it helped me to break it again. So I think it's just a good thing and good competition.
Speaking of the relay, now we have two women who are under 11 seconds. It bodes well for the relay pool. Last year, you guys made the finals, and I know you guys probably watched us win the gold, and you're like, oh, we want some of that action too. Now that you have more depth in the relay pool, what are you guys looking forward to going into Tokyo as a relay unit?
I think we'll just execute on the track and be able to perform on demand like we always asked to do. So I think we need to do that, do our thing, and I think we are faster individually, so I think it's going to be a good thing, and hopefully we can do another Canadian record in the prelim and qualify for the final and do even better in the final. I think that's something that we missed last year in Paris, that we ran slower in the final, and we need to perform when it counts the most, and it's usually in the final. So I think it will be a good thing to be able to do that this year.
So are you saying going into Tokyo, your main objective is lowering that Canadian record or going faster? Or are you saying you want to be on the podium with this team? Do you think that's a realistic expectation of this squad?
Well, we always want to be on the podium. So I think it's more realistic this year than it was maybe to think last year. We are faster, we're better together, we have more experience because it was our first year and our first meets on the big stage at the Olympics, except the World Relay. So I think we can look maybe for a podium, but we need to make it to the final first, and maybe why not dream?
So what's the relay team dynamic like? Do you guys like each other? Do you guys, hang out when you're off the track? What's that look like for you guys? And, talk to us about your bond and how, who's the leader of the team, who's kind of more reserved, who's the funny person, what's that dynamic look like? Give us an inside look.
I think me and Shade, for example, we've been on this team since 2020. That we were in Grenada for our first camp. So we have a pretty good relationship. We've been to almost each camp, so we've built on that, and we saw the veteran in the past be the leaders, and now we are kind of the leader of the group because we are the vets. And I think we are the society. We have a lot of people, we have shy people, we have people that talk more. And we've seen you guys have a great relationship, and I think this is what we want to have, to be able to talk to each other, but also to be able to compete together and have a good chemistry. And I think this is what we have.
You're just trying to see if there's any drama, Aaron. I know that's what you're looking for. See if there's any drama.
No,
you're not gonna tell us.
Never done. Not on Team Canada. Not on Team Canada.
No.
But Audrey, everybody obviously wants to be on the podium, and that's an easy way to indicate if you're successful or not. But what does success look like for you going into Tokyo? If you leave there with, new Canadian records or making the finals, would you be happy with that? What are you using as your benchmark for success coming out of Tokyo?
I think for me, it will be to do a final individually. And if I can do more than that, 2 and plus the relay, I think I will be happy with that. And plus with the PB for sure. But I think to make the final, it's more important than the PB, because when you're against like the other people, this is like where you need to compete and be able to run faster than them. You have the same like condition. You can have wind, you can have rain, so you cannot count on like doing a PB to be happy. I think it's better just to have like the best like results. So just be higher in the like ranking, and this is I think my goal for Tokyo, to be the highest possible.
Nice.
Spoken
Okay.
like a vet. Put up or shut up.
I like
Ferme
that.
la bouche.
Feminine.
Yeah.
You know some French, Aaron. This is hilarious.
Little bit,
Okay.
huh? Puff.
Audrey, I'm gonna put you on the spot, girl. You might want to take it or not. But between the women's relay that you're a part of and Aaron Brown's relay team going into Tokyo, these two great teams. If you had to say which one is gonna finish higher, which one is gonna be the one to watch, are you betting on yourself or are you betting on them and their experience? What say you, Audrey Leduc?
That's a good question. I will bet on our team.
Hey.
Yeah. For
Yes.
this meet, I think we have a good chance.
I think
like
so
it.
too.
I'm not saying that you don't have a chance.
Of course.
but
No. Yeah.
We know.
I think maybe we can tie it.
Yeah.
Tie for first. I like.
Yeah,
I like-
you got to go with your team. You got to go with your
That's it.
team.
That's
So,
it.
I like
And listen,
it. Confidence.
Aaron always goes with his team, so we know
Yeah, that's what you got to do around here.
exactly.
Well, you're
Audrey
Olympic
Leduc.
champion, so.
Yeah.
This is true. Thank you so much, Audrey, for making time for us. You're going to see Aaron in Tokyo. You guys are teammates, obviously. But again, we'll be rooting for you from our side, on this side. And Aaron will be there on our behalf as well. So congrats on everything you've done so far. And we can't wait to see what you do in Tokyo.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Audrey. See you later.
I told you, Audrey got that dog in her, man. She's not playing around. She picked her. She said, it's our time now, AB. It's our time now.
I like it. We need that energy. You know, that's what we need on Team Canada.
Confidence.
Competitiveness. Push each other to be greater.
Come on now.
like it.
Come on now. Okay, so last week we had a chance to catch up with Paralympic champion Austin Smeenk. Here's that interview.
Joining us now live on Trackside is the men's Paris Paralympic champion in the men's 800 meters T34 category. We got Austin Smeenk in the building. Austin, how you feeling, man?
Feeling pretty fantastic. Just along with a little bit of appropriately sore from the training load that's currently going on.
So, Austin, I need to ask you about, you just talked about your heavy training load. And so Aaron can relate to that. I used to be able to relate to that. But as you look ahead to, the World Championships for you, what does that preparation look like? What does the rest of your season and your racing schedule look like?
So right now, we're about 4 weeks away from getting on a plane and going out towards India. So we have a world championship in New Delhi this fall, and we are right in the final stages of, so to say, sharpening the sword. So, the most of the work in terms of volume has been done, but now we're just kind of on that high neuro load stuff where we're doing some pretty snappy stuff and really bringing the energy to every training session and making sure that we're, executing the things that we want to be doing at a really high level. So yeah, it's the last little push here, and I'm full-time training now, so it's 1 or 2 sessions every day a week with Sunday off for a full reset, and feeling like you're just kind of carrying that training load throughout the day and the week as you go.
So, Austin, I know you're a bit of a gearhead, and the cool thing about wheelchair races is you get to make your own modifications and stuff. How much fun do you have making modifications to your wheelchair to have the fastest one on the track?
I have quite a bit of fun. I think that gearheads and cyclists can probably relate to the cost that goes into it as well. I mean, I just dropped like €1,000 on some pretty fancy tires, and
Jeez.
It's exciting to me knowing that I'm going to be on the track with like the best tires I've ever used and the best tires that are currently available in the world. And also, it's a lot of fun to kind of go through the call room and everyone's like checking out. It's like, damn, like this guy's got something no one else has. Like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, at this level, you got to be perfecting your stuff. It's not like you can just go out there and, any pair of shoes these days, like you literally need to be in what works best for you and have tried a whole bunch of stuff to know that what you're set up with is something that's going to set you aside.
I want to ask you, looking ahead, to what you think, or I guess really what your goals are going into New Delhi. Have you set them up already? Is there anything that you can let us in on? 3 medals, is that the focus?
3 medals is the focus. I think it's the focus because it's possible. And that's kind of what drives a lot of, I think, us athletes, is knowing that it is possible or that it's within reach is something that gives us a lot of fuel. You know, I'm going into this championship as the world record holder in the 400 meter and the 800 meter race. And that's something that I do want to, you know, aim to defend. Although I do know that, like, you know, the rest of the world is coming out swinging this year, and already in Switzerland earlier this season, we saw some athletes go super fast. So there's going to be work that needs to be done. And I also need to work hard to, you know, to rival myself, because this season is different from last season. And last season, Austin, you know, bust his ass and went so hard. So I have to compete with that guy and, you know, try and pull it out ahead of, you know, what I was able to perform and pull out last year.
Nice. Well, I always think of you, like, every time I see you, you got the gold medals on your neck and you're just rocking those things and letting everybody know, like, yeah, I'm the champion. But, you know, like I said earlier, we bonded over our gold medal experiences, talked about that in Ottawa. And for me, you know, I won gold in the relay. So speaking of that relay event, we had Marissa on the show earlier, and she was talking about having the relay with you. So talk about the preparation for that relay race coming up and what goes into that and what makes that so special and something that you're looking forward to.
It's really just such a neat event. So, I mean, you can relate to the relay for sure, but in the para side, we've gone from a 4x400 wheelchair relay to a 4x100 universal relay. You know, you can definitely relate to this. It's the magic of the relay is within the exchanges.
Absolutely.
And, you know, that happens within the preparation. So for us, it's really important that we focus on that as much as we can. You know, moving into New Delhi, we're going to see what we can do with the field of athletes that we have to choose from. You know, there's a reality of the parasport world where you don't get to just send a relay team. You actually have to field your own athletes based on their individual events first, and then you can run a relay if you have enough athletes that meet the appropriate classifications, and you've you know, set standard at a significant level with those athletes or with a different group. So you know, we're going to see what we can do with who we bring, and I'm sure that Canada will be, you know, doing what they can to, if nothing else, learn something here so that we can be stronger come next year and the, you know, the following year as we move closer and closer to LA. And, you know, by the time we get to LA, I'm pretty confident that we're going to have a very dynamic, ultra competitive team.
Listen, you said it here. You want 3 medals. It is attainable for you. It is possible. We're going to hold you to it because we know you can. Austin, thanks so much for your time and good luck in New Delhi.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it for having me on, guys.
Peace, man.
We are only a few weeks away from the World Championships, and we've got you covered here on Trackside. Our next episode will be our Tokyo 2025 preview show. Save the date, circle the date, set your calendars right now, Monday, September 8th, 10 a.m. ET. Aaron and I will get you set for the biggest matchup at Worlds, and we'll be joined by some very, very special guests, some of our faves. You don't want to miss it. Watch right here on the CBC Sports YouTube channel. All right, this is officially the end of episode number 15. I cannot believe it. Aaron, how you feeling? We're getting close.
Yeah, I feel good. Another one in the books. We got one more, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? The season has already gone by that fast. But I want you guys in the comments to spam happy 25th birthday to Perdita, because we know she doesn't look a day over 25. Happy birthday once again. Enjoy your donuts. Eat them donuts, and I'll join you for a donut when I'm in my off season. Same one for me.
At the end, can you say goodbye to everybody? Because I'm kind of busy. Okay, bye.
I got you. Yeah. We'll see you guys September 8th for our World Championships preview show. So make sure you set your alarm, set your reminders. Join us for our last episode before I go hit the track. Perdita's gonna be in the booth, doing her thing. She's eating her donuts. We're feeling good. She's 25 today, so happy birthday. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.